Status unknown. Okay. Perfect. BTech students had a class before this. Okay. Jamal. Oh, Jayantu sirs. Okay. Today, probably we are expecting HOD sir to join for some time. He wants to talk to you, all of you. So I don't know whether he will join in between or right now, but we have given him invitation. So let's wait. Uh, so okay, right now it's 10. We'll wait 1 minute more to start the class. बाद में बाद में Did anyone try that StereoNet software that was there, the online site that was there? Did anyone try and work in that? Uh, I think I gave a link last time. Yeah. Was anyone successful in trying that? The StereoNets, last time we were working on stereographic projections, right? No one? Do try it out. It's a useful thing.
Sir, I did try it,
You did
but
try? Okay.
yeah, the similar problems that you presented during the class.
Okay. So nothing special, right? It's quite easy to understand, right? Okay. Uh, so what to do? 13. Okay, let's begin. I think others can join in the meantime. And if HOD sir joins, then we'll halt our class and let's just see what he wants to discuss then. Anyways, so good evening, everyone. We will be continuing for rock slope technology class where we are discussing how geology plays a part in slope stability. We were discussing about various ways in which a geological discontinuity can be formed, right? We were discussing so many types of discontinuities. We were discussing about and how these discontinuities have different parameters like their orientation, like its joint separation, persistence, and interfilling material cohesion, and so many parameters are there that actually decide what kind of failure will be there and whether failure will be there or not. So stability can not directly be just indicated by the presence of these discontinuities, but an an idea can be obtained based on what type of discontinuities are there and how they are oriented. An idea can be there that okay, this is the distribution, this is the orientation, how close they are, how far they are, and so based on that, we can actually just get an idea that chances of failure happening can be this kind of failure and this extent of failure can happen. So we were moving ahead with that, and we were seeing how these planes or joint planes can actually be plotted in a two-dimensional graph. So that projection that we saw was a stereo net. So let's see what we will be doing today. We will introduce the stereographic projections last time and saw how these things work. So today what we will be seeing is stereo nets. Just we will be continuing to do that, and we'll be seeing how and what kind of failures can be predicted by just seeing how the things are plotted in stereo nets. So we'll be seeing when multiple planes are plotted, how they interact with each other, what interaction are there, what kind of interaction can be seen on an stereo net, right? And on the basis of that, we can actually see what kind of probable failure types can be there. So we'll be seeing that, how based on just the stereographic projections, we can predict the type of failure. And we'll be doing something called kinematic analysis. So kinematic analysis also is in the direction of getting an idea of what kind of failure will be there based on how the orientation of joint sets are there. Kinematic analysis also includes not only the joint orientation, but also the face of the slope orientation. So how the slope is oriented with respect to the joint, that is also an important part, right? And it also can include a simple stability analysis with respect to friction. So friction can also be introduced in the stereo net itself, and we can actually predict that, okay, these are the planes with respect to what is the friction angle of the sliding surface and all. We can actually predict what kind of failure will be there and if this kind of joint can create that kind of failure. So all this analysis just by doing that stereographic projection is termed or clubbed under kinematic analysis. So we'll be seeing that these why we are learning these kinematic analysis and stereographic projections is the reason is that when a geological map is presented to us, when a geological survey is presented to us, more often than not, a stereo net or a stereograph will be presented. Now, generally, a geologist or expert structural geologist actually does that plotting of all these things and how these are plotted in the practically the field, as well as what are the instruments that are used for plotting these joints. So all these are geological methods that are done on the field while the field investigation is going on, and based on that, these plottings are done. But in terms of a mining engineer, in terms of a slope engineer, why we need to learn these is because we have to read this out and understand what kind of data is presented here, right? Even though we are not making them directly most of the time, we are actually reading. And reading those stereo nets or stereographs are important, and the data that we get out of that is another important. So that's why we are discussing this topic. So keep in mind why we are doing things, what's the importance of this. Keep on asking that, and then we should proceed ahead. Okay. So moving to that, last time I will have a quick recap of what we did last time. We saw how a plane can be actually projected on a 2D plane. A three-dimensional plane can be projected on a 2D surface by orienting it at a reference sphere in this way, like it is shown here, and plotting its projections, where it will contact on this reference sphere on the on the surface or the flat surface on the top. So the projection of that contact with that reference sphere with this plane is the stereographic projection of that plane. We also learned something about the pole. So pole was basically a 90-degree line that was drawn with respect to that plane. And the stereographic projection of that pole line is basically a dot, right? A single point, because a line will interact with that reference sphere only at one point, and that point basically is represented by a single dot. So a single point actually can fully represent a full complete plane orientation. It can give us the data of orientation. It can give us the data of the dip, the dip angle, and the strike. So a single point on that stereograph gives us the idea of how a plane is oriented physically. So that's what we were learning last time. We learned how one dimension is reduced and what are the limitations, how it is plotted, and how these things work. We'll just skip through those. And we saw how practically it is done. So I hope I had shared some links. So if you guys had got time, I hope you would have gone through these videos. This is Professor T.K. Biswal who has this videos. He's from IIT Bombay. I actually was in the same department while I was doing the PhD. So he's a good structural geologist. So he has good insights. So that's all the screenshots here are from his videos only. So how the tracing paper is put and the pin is put in that stereo net, and how we can actually rotate the tracing paper to plot the dip angle or the strike angle, and plot basically how the plane will be oriented, right? So all this we saw last time. So we'll move ahead today. We also saw how we can do that in that software that we saw, like the online application that was there, right? So we saw that in the online version as well, how this can be plotted, how it can be visualized into 3D. That also we saw. So we'll keep on seeing that if that is required today. But today we'll move ahead with this and see what else can be done by StereoNets. So just to see that when we were plotting, we remember how we were rotating it. We were marking a strike line, right? The strike angle we were marking, and we are rotating or bringing it to north. Do remember there is a difference between a strike and dip direction. Okay, so this sometimes we get confused due to that, because the reason is that uh, both the convention of designation of a plane are followed. Most of the cases, strike angle or the strike line and the dip angle are measured or mentioned for joints. But sometimes even the dip angle and the dip direction are measured. So when these things are done, so do remember, or both uh, the dip direction and the strike are at 90 degree with each other. So if anything like this confusion is there, do take care of that. Okay. Uh, so in this, like for example, they have actually plotted a plane which is having a dip direction of 130 degree and a dip of 50 degrees. So that's how they did it. They basically checked out 130 from here, right? And because it is a dip angle, dip direction, in place of bringing it is in north or south direction, they basically brought it to east. You see how they moved it to east in this direction. So the north basically moved at like 40 points. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So that's the difference. So For a dip direction of 130 degrees, effective strike is 130 minus 90. So it is 40 degrees, right? So if we say 40, that's how it is done by our method that we were following. So for marking a strike at 40, we turn the north towards this. So north is turned in 4 points here. So that's why how it is done. Then we count for 50 5 times, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And here it was marked. So this is called a great circle. Great circle means in the north-south direction. These are termed as small circles. The application for this is a little bit different and will be used at different places. But for now, for our purpose of marking planes and slope surfaces, we use the great circle. Also, in order to mark a pole, basically what we have to do is mark a point while we are doing this marking of plane. We have to just count 90 degrees ahead of this in the east and west direction. So if this is our plane, we just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So these are 10, 20, 30, 40 till 90. So if we mark a point here, this will actually denote the pole of this plane because it is oriented at 90 degree. And now since we have brought the strike in north-south direction, so just we have to we have to count from the plane to 90 degrees from the plane, and that point will be marked as pole. So if you just saw that overlay, so the overlay for that a plane with 130 degree dip direction and 50 degree dip angle will be something like this, right? So do remember the dip direction and the strike are different things. And when we mark pole, we just add 90 to the dip angle, and that will give us the location of the pole. Okay. Now moving ahead, when these poles are marked, so you see how the pole is marked, right? For every plane, there will be a pole. So if these poles, when all the mapping is done, poles are marked in this kind of fashion. So what it is basically on the whole stereo net, all the discontinuities that are marked in terms of just these poles. Now, when these kind of analysis is done, this is called a pole scatter or the pole scatter contouring. So what it does, what it signifies is basically basically tells what are the prominent orientations of these discontinuities. So in this, we can basically see there are three major centers where the orientation of these discontinuities are. So just by seeing this stereo net, we can actually say that majority of the discontinuities are oriented in three sets of directions. So that gives us an idea that there are three sets of joints that are oriented at different angles, and that can create a block type of material. Well, while we saw that how many so many directions of joint sets are there, so they can create a block kind of failure if there are three or more kind of joint sets. So similarly, by seeing these stereo nets and the density of these poles, we can actually have an idea of how the orientation or how the majority orientation of these joints are. So basically, there will be this center will be denoting somewhere on this line, right? And this will be somewhere on this lines, ऐसा करके, and this will be somewhere on here. So all these three basically create some sort of block and kind of can lead to block failure. Again, do remember stereographic projections or stereographic analysis, whatever we are doing, this is just based on orientations only, right? It doesn't say anything about other features such as spacing. It doesn't say anything about what kind of infilling material is there, what kind of slope is there, what kind of other parameters are there that actually affect uh, uh, the slope stability, as we saw last time when we saw about how the persistence of these joints can actually affect the kind of failure that we observe, right? So this only gives an indication of how things can be. Okay, so reading a stereo net or a stereographic projection will be useful, and how it will be useful we'll see on this stereo net on the right side actually is a polar projection. Polar projection, if you remember last time, we saw that there are two kinds of projections that can be done for that reference sphere, right? One will be the equatorial representation where north, south, east, wests are there, and one will be the polar representation. Polar representation basically represents the the below part, or where the points can be projected on the lower surface, or lower assumed surface of that sphere. Again, this also gives an idea of how things are oriented, but this gives an idea more of a dip angle. So how much dip they have. So if more dip will be there, they will be they will be closer on towards the center. If farther more higher dip angles are there, uh, I mean to say, if steeper angles are there, it will be on the center. While if they are not that steep, they will be towards the periphery. So that's how polar things work. So dip angles can be seen in that way. Again, this gives an idea of the steepness of these joints, and that can be useful interpretation when we go for any planning of the slope and so on, right? So this is one. Now, when the joints intersect, as we saw last time, they actually form a line, right? So when two planes are intersecting, when they intersect, two planes intersect, they basically intersect to form a line. Now, this line is also very useful tool to understand what will be the direction of failure, because when two planes intersect, basically they are intersecting and forming a sort of a wedge. Generally, it can be multiple planes that are making a complex sort of wedge, but this will generally there will be a sort of wedge formation against the slope face. So it is important that we know what are these characteristics of this line, because most of the failures will happen due to this intersection or the interaction with of these planes, right? Joint planes. So even on stereo nets, this is just a 3D projection to understand what happened. But even on stereo nets, we can easily find the parameters of the line of intersection also. So if we have two planes that are intersecting at a certain point, this point actually represents the location of the line of intersection. So when even in this 3-dimension figure, if you can see, this point on the surface of the sphere will actually be projected on top, and this will be corresponding to the intersection point here. So this point will be representing the line passing line that is has one end at the center, another end at the intersection of these two planes. And so this basically represents the intersection line. How we find the orientation of this? So orientation can be easily found by first of all seeing what is its strike, or we can say trend in this case, because in lines, do remember we see trend and plunge. So this is similar to the dip angle, right? And this is similar to the dip, all right? Do remember that. So in order to see the trend, we can just we can just join the center of the stereo net with the intersection point and extend it till the boundary, and just measure it from north till how much it is there. So we know this is south and this is 180, and we can actually count out how further it is, so 190, 200, and somewhere in between 200 and 210. So it has calculated it to be 200.5, right? Similarly, we can also do for the angle or the plunge in this case. So the plunge can be actually calculated by bringing this point on the east-west direction. So east-west direction of the stereo net. So when we rotate our overlay, we bring our this point to the center east-west line, and then we just measure from uh, the end of maybe the west side in this case. So we just measure how this is 10, this is 20, and this is just ahead of 20, so 20.5. Same thing we can do in, if you remember, we had this online tool. So let's see how we can do it there. It's even easier there. I'll just show you guys if I can get it. Yeah. Oh. So we saw how we can make actually the planes by double clicking, right? And the by the we know that this point is the point of intersection. If we want to see 3D, we can see how the line that is formed is being represented here, right? Now, the good thing about this software also is that we can actually create a line by just analyzing these two. So if we select these two planes by shift and select, and we click this functions thing, we can actually create a line out of these two. So what will be the line? So basically it creates a intersection line out of these two planes. So if we want to see uh, and if we make them invisible sort of, we can actually see how this intersection line can be directly interpolated by this tool. So, these are simple calculations that we can do by hand, or why not use the tools that are available. So the dip as well as the trend and the plunge both can be directly obtained from this, right? So something on those lines easily can be done. Let's move ahead. Also, if we have two or more lines, we can actually find the angle between them similarly. So if we have two lines, like maybe multiple intersection points, or we just want to plot two lines, we have seen lineation or some other geological discontinuity that can be plotted in form of a line. And we have these two points that represent the line A and line B. So we can easily find the angle between these two lines by bringing these two lines in this any great circle that basically basically touches both of them. So while rotating, we can find which circle touches these two points, and the angle that can be counted by the minor lines that are there. So the angle between these two can easily be calculated by counting those sections. And actually what this plane signifies is actual the plane of common plane between these two. When we go for the three-dimensional projection of any two lines, and we try to find a common, we try to find this great circle. This great circle is nothing but the plane in which both of these lines are present. So that's what it is. So it is a common plane between these two lines. So any two lines that are oriented in that three dimension will have only one common plane between them, right? So that's the common plane between these two lines. So that's what we have to search out every time we go for the angle measurement. And when we bring them to that common plane, angle measurement becomes easy, right? So this is these are some of the things that we can do in our stereographic projections, stereographic analysis. If you guys, if you all would have been here physically, I would have done it by hand, but anyways, we are using software for that, so that may have been helpful a little bit more. So let's move ahead and see what are the other properties of these line of interaction. So the line of interaction actually gives a good idea of failure. So as I was saying, this is the line that is formed by this interaction is the line at which if a wedge is formed, that will take most probably that will fail on this direction. Again, it depends on what kind of orientation is this plane and what kind of orientation is the slope as well. If the slope is oriented smoothly, like even more than if the angle of the slope is less than this, so then the failure might not happen at all. So again, many factors are there, but when two planes intersect, the intersection is an important parameter to judge or to see which kind of failure can happen. So in wedge failures, it is very important, uh, and based on what kind of angle it is there between these two, a type of wedge also can be, it can be a broad wedge, right? It can be a very narrow wedge, and different type of wedges can be predicted based on what kind of interaction are there between these two poles. And yeah, as I was saying, existence of intersection and wedge may not necessarily mean there is a wedge failure. So many conditions are there, and especially orientation of slope face and friction angle are few of the major in terms of just the orientation and the angle side if we see. So these two parameters are very important to consider before we can say, okay, this kind of failure can be done or can happen. So that is an important consideration when we do this kind of stereographic analysis. Okay. So Professor, our HOD sir is will probably join now. His message has come, so let's wait. Sir, welcome to this rock slope technology class. Sir, can you hear me?
Is everyone there in the class?
Yes, some of I think 33 is the attendance right now. So keeps on fluctuating, maybe because of internet connectivity and all.
Okay, you can discontinue the class and we'll have general discussions.
Okay, okay. Let me stop the screen sharing.
Your class you can stop.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this all the current final year students, can you listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We can listen to you.
Okay,
Yes.
we have not been able to meet formally. So there has been no discussion as yet about your final year plans, about your study tours, nothing we have discussed. And probably as I have received the feedback from Professor Gupta, the condition is no better here at our place also. in Rourkela. We have more than, I think, more than 20 people who are positive now. Some are in home isolation in the campus, some are at the hospital. But in any way, things are okay. I just want to listen from you, your difficulties. Then I'll tell you what is happening at the institute level and what we can do. So one by one, if you wish to express your problems or difficulties, then we'll try to find out a solution to that. Whatever information I have from the institute side, that will also that I will also communicate to you. Anyone wants to say anything? Is there anything that you wish to say, or you are all comfortable?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
It's Nitesh. Okay.
Sir, the main problem is the lab work, sir. We cannot match.
Lab problem is?
सर जैसे कि कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर है वो हुआ है
This you are talking about availability of software in our lab, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Actually, when Professor Tushar Gupta took over and he pointed out that this is the problem, last year even this was not brought to my notice. And probably last year computer application in mining lab was not there. I'm not sure. Probably it was not there. But in any case, I had some information that we had SURPAC, we have FLAG 2D, 3D, then license of rock science. Some softwares we had. When I tried to inquire, I found out that the license of SURPAC is over, and Professor Gupta, probably rock science is going to be over, isn't it?
Rock science will be going to be over.
It is going to be over. So immediately we thought of, and last year, if you remember, I planned to have a SURPAC training by one of our alumni. I'm forgetting his name. He's somewhere in Asia. And that time also I was not aware that we didn't have a SURPAC license or SURPAC license is over. But what our attempt is, yesterday, day before yesterday, I have brought this into the knowledge of Professor, this was our director. And I'll take a proposal maybe by Monday, but I'm not sure by the time your semester is there, whether we will have it or not. But surely I will try because the software is a proprietary item. We can procure it faster, maybe in 1.5 to 2 months, if the approval is given. So I'll take a proposal for approval for this software so that by the end of the semester, at least you can practice. The problem is the softwares will be installed here. That's again another problem. These licenses you may not avail from your place. You can only avail some of the practice softwares, but not the whole modules. That's another problem that you will be facing. But what I am open is, we are open that if you wish, we can, even Professor Gupta, I think, will volunteer. The faculty members are there to volunteer. We'll spare some time for you, even if the semester is over and you are able to join, let's say by November, we will keep provisions for you to learn in December. That promise I'll make. But before that, I'll try to get these softwares in urgency. Anything else you wish to say? But I'm not expecting you to come here even in next September. This month is not possible. I don't think it's possible in October. If at all it is possible, maybe November or December. So whenever you come, we will make some arrangement for you for learning these softwares. Okay, Professor Gupta, I think we will work some extra hours, and we will invite some outside people also. And we'll take either in evening hours or even Saturday, Sundays, and we will make them learn.
Yeah.
That we are going to
The
do.
problem, sir, also is, as you said, they are not able to access whatever is available also. And I think when they come, then only that can be done.
So whatever possible from your side, you try, but do not lose heart. We will all, whatever possible from our side, we will definitely do, even beyond the working hours, we will do for you. That commitment will make. Anything else you want or you wish to say?
Sir, problem regarding research projects, sir. Without going mine, how can we do that?
The problem is, look, we have to change with time, right? Now, if I say, or if faculty members insist that we'll give a topic which necessitates mine visit or mine sample collection, then your project will be delayed. That's what I do not want. So you, while you are selecting a topic, be flexible so that suppose, let's say, hypothetically, let's imagine that you are unable to come. Then what do you think? Should we keep you waiting or should we complete the semester? You definitely have problems. I am not saying that there will not be any problems. Our target will be for you to make the provision so that you graduate. Maybe we can delay it by a month or 2 months so that you can learn. But if we say we keep the project pending on the pretext that you have to visit the mine, collect the samples, then it will be a loss for you. That's why I would suggest that you select a topic that you can work on it by collecting data, whatever information available from the web, or by contacting the mine officials and collecting the information. But this semester, I'm sure you will not be able to carry out any experimentation. Next semester, you can definitely provided you are able to come here. You want to work extra hours in the lab, all those provisions I'll try to make. But cannot make you a commitment regarding mine visits and all that. Even we have 4 or 5 mine visits pending, official mine visits. We are unable to travel. There are restrictions, then there are fear of this contamination. So keep your options open. This semester you do as much as possible with data, and next semester keep it flexible. If possible, do the experimentation. Otherwise, go for modeling or simulation, some form that you can utilize.
Sir, main thing is the modeling and related issue. We have to access the software, but we cannot do that right now. That is the main issue. Again, it is coming.
I understand. Now, what do you suggest? You tell me. What are the possible solutions?
Maybe we have some access after December or extension of this project work at least. If possible, some student can do that, some cannot.
No, let me tell you frankly. If you wish to, someone wishes to extend it by 1 or 2 months, that is definitely doable without any problem. We in fact have this provision that someone fails to complete within the scheduled time, the supervisor extends it or the student requests it. So we extend it by 1 month, by 2 months. That we can do. Instead of regular semester ending on 30th, the project can be extended till end of June or middle of June. If someone wants to work on that, you make an appeal, we are definitely going to do it. So that's not a problem. And your results will also be published fast. Because rest of the results would be published, only project would be kept incomplete. And immediately after the thesis is completed, we'll make the evaluation, we'll submit the grades. That we can do. That's in our hands. This again you have pointed out in the right time. So I'll put it in the Senate meeting, which is to be held day after tomorrow, Saturday. So I'll put it in the Senate as well. Anything else? Are you facing any difficulty in theory classes?
sometimes the professor are teaching so fastly that we cannot grasp what is going on. That is also a problem.
True. There is no direct visual interaction. The problem is most of us, in fact, are preparing slides. That's a problem. If live interaction is possible, then it's live interaction like I'm speaking. But most of the faculty members do not have these accessories of writing. Like they will be given a writing board, but I do not know by when. Once they are given a writing board, I hope they will take the class the way they take in normal classrooms. So they will write with the usual flow instead of using the PPTs. Your point is well taken, Nitesh. It's not a negative comment on the faculty members, but it's just that the faculty members find it comfortable that the slides have been prepared or are being prepared, and they are doing it because of absence of some facilities. We have one facility in the lectural complex where they can record, but it's not a live class. So they can record and send it to you. But if faculty members get these writing pads or writing boards, they will keep on writing. You can ask questions, so they can alter and change whatever. In real time, they can explain. It can still be explained now, but little difficulty is there. I can use a board and can explain you like I did, I don't know, for you other people. Through the help of a writing board, I explained last time. I explained the answers probably to your junior students. I answered all their questions through short videos in WhatsApp. They asked the questions, then I wrote the answer and recorded it and sent it to the students through WhatsApp. This can be done in MS Team also and in real time as well. But your point is well taken. This will again be put to the Senate. Excessive use of, you are indirectly saying excessive dependence on PPTs instead of interaction, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's what I understand that. No one will like, in fact. It doesn't give the charm of PPT, doesn't give the charm of a real-time communication.
Sir, any information regarding examination, sir? How can they conduct it?
This is to be discussed on Saturday. It's one of the agenda. Whether we will conduct the mid-sem or not, whether we'll combine mid-sem or end-sem, all these modes and all that, we are going to discuss on Saturday in the Senate. If you have any suggestion by tomorrow, you can give. I'll take it to the Senate also. Overall view of our students. Normally, I will present on some comments, some feedback I have taken, so I'll present. But if you have, in general, some comments to make regarding the exams and all of that, I'll put your views in the Senate. Because right now, some students have approached me who are in flood-hit zones. They are unable to attend these classes. Some, not many, but there are a few. This is a tough time. You are battling COVID and you are battling flood, and then you have to attend classes online. There are real challenges. But then we are flexible. We are a little flexible. That's why these recording in MS Teams, so that if someone is missing, finding it difficult because of slow internet, at least he can check it at his leisure time or when net is okay. Rest of the class is silent. Are there any other feedbacks or questions?
Sir, this semester extension, not semester extension, the project extension that Nitesh suggested, that should be done keeping in the placements in mind, because there are different joinings for different companies. So if somebody has joining in 30th June and he has extended in project, so that could cause a problem.
No, as I said, this is not in general. This is not for all. This is specific for those students, those who request that I want to do such and such work, and I may be given 1 or 2 months extension. This will not be a general rule.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Others, if you want to have the facility of placement and all, you must ensure that you complete it in scheduled time. Because it's not that you take up a project and anything garbage you write and submit, it's not going to be accepted.
Yes, sir.
If you remember last time we put some students from our side, we didn't accept their thesis, they were given extension. So that is going to happen if someone doesn't work at all. The only problem that Nitesh pointed out is most of the, in fact, projects, particularly in our department, are related to field and is dependent upon sample collection or mine visits. That is not feasible right now. So from that aspect, I was telling you to be flexible. If you become rigid, then there might be some difficulty. Be flexible from your side, and you must also discuss about this problem with your supervisors.
Yes, sir.
And the mid-sem evaluation is coming very fast. Maybe September end and October, maybe October first week, we will have the mid-sem evaluation of projects. So some basic work must be completed before that. Anything else? There are a lot of other activities to be done. I am not sure whether we are going to conduct Minare this year or not. I wish to have it. If it is not possible in physical mode, we are going to continue. We'll keep it online. But let's not discontinue it. We will continue it in some form or the other. If physically not possible, let's conduct it online. We can restrict the number of events to a few, and still we can judge it. Anything else? Is there anyone who is struggling with emotional problems? Feeling low or anything? If you need a counseling session, then I may request Professor Alok Satpathy, who does regular counseling, to have a session with you if you wish. This is for your, let's say, coping with the current situation, to keep yourself calm and focused from that aspect. As such, he has already uploaded his videos in YouTube, but if you wish, I can have a live session with you. You want to have live sessions with officials, as let's say scientists or academicians, that also I can arrange if you want. But if you're not comfortable, I am not invited on any special topic. There are no comments now. Any comment? No more comments? Are there any other questions or queries or suggestions? You are probably aware that from 1st September, we have the Director General of Mine Safety, Prabhat Kumar from 86 batch. We are definitely going to invite him within this year before you leave as one of our guests for some occasion. Are there anything we wish to say? Otherwise, we'll close it here already. You have another class at 4:15. Pulsars class is there.
Yes, sir.
Blasting technology class is there. Do you wish to say anything? Yes.
Hello, sir. Sir, I
Yes.
think overall all the problems are discussed. Means general problems are discussed here, so I don't think any sort of problems are there to be discussed. So,
So then let us conclude. You have another class, I think, blasting. You can join that class. Yeah, Dr. Gupta, shall we close?
Yeah. If all are okay, I mean, students can actually have one-to-one conversations with us anytime if they want. If any problems are there, they are always free to ask, and we can have a conversation with them. Anything is there, do feel free. Students do feel free to call us or message us, at least communicate, because as HOD sir is saying, it is important right now to basically be calm, understand what the situation is, because everyone is facing the same thing. So let's keep on working hard. I feel that's what the thing is, and let's cope up and see on the other side. I think that's it.
Tell me how many of you are now helping your parents at home in your household activities? How many? None?
No one is helping. That's not true. Prabhu is the first one to raise hand.
Helping, okay. Some people they're helping because now because of the restrictions, a lot of restriction, you have to complete most of your work at home. There is hardly anyone to help. And so when you complete all that work at home and then do your own work, the time constraint is also there for all of us. Right. So, but we are still, it's all making a balancing act, which we all are doing. But then most of us in the department, you know, are all there to help you. Do feel free to discuss. If you are facing some challenges, remember that it's for your betterment. If you face challenges, that it's you better. If you get, let's say, an easy task, easy go everywhere, and a challenge comes, then you are in a quandary. But if you have already faced challenges here and you go to the real world, the challenges come, then you take it very easily. So let there be a few challenges, but let's find ways to overcome it. On the software front, I told you, Dr. Gupta and myself, we will take the initiative. In fact, we have started already. We have brought it to the knowledge of the directors, and immediately we'll take a formal proposal and try how we can get the software so that immediately you can utilize. For your junior batch, they will get these facilities. Unfortunately, I should not comment about the past heads, but they should have taken this earlier. When the funds were there, they should have tried to procure them. But I am fighting at a time when the funds are not even 1/5 of the previous tenure. But we'll definitely find a way and do it for you. You tell me the name of the softwares you want to learn. SARFAC is a must, so that we are going to procure. Which other softwares you want to be procured immediately?
Sir, Vensim.
Vensim we have.
Yeah, we'll be teaching that. Yes.
Vensim we have, but I'll check the condition of the license. We had long back, though I taught ventilation, this Vensim software is not procured by me, neither am I trained in Vensim. I have used some other small modules, but Vensim, Dr. Gupta, are you familiar with Vensim?
Yeah. So Vensim is there. I think some version is there with Murmuji, so I'll ask him to check it out. License, I think it's a very old one, so we'll see what we can do about it.
Okay.
But yeah, till now, I think it was with not being taught frequently here.
No, never. It
ANSYS,
is not required.
Rohan, ANSYS is available, and we will be covering it in our classes also. About
Sir,
flat,
is there? Hello,
yeah.
sir.
Yes.
Sir, is there any app? Is there any software for blast modeling and designing? I think
Yeah.
SORTPlus is a type of advanced blast design and modeling software for this.
So in
Do you
Blast
have
Design,
that?
we are trying to get a software called Blast Logic. It's a very advanced software for blast designing. So again, the same thing that HOD sir is saying, that we are in process of acquiring few things. So as soon as that is done, we'll cover that as well.
Sir, in this research program, in our fourth year research program, since we cannot avail data, most of the students are trying to model the design, like simulation, blast modeling, and blast simulation is my
Right.
part. And other students may be doing such things. So I think those softwares can be really helpful during this time.
Very good, very true.
The procurement will be faster, then it will be really helpful.
True.
The problem is, again, you have to be here to do that work.
Mm.
So
Even
unless
if we
you,
acquire software, though, that also will not be directly accessible at your place. So that's also a problem. But still, we'll keep on doing from our part. And as soon as proximity is there, you guys can come. We will see what we can do. Right, sir, you were saying something?
I was saying that that proposal that we are discussing, that the ground floor lab, we will make it software lab, so that
Yeah.
the common softwares that SARPAC and all that, which most of the students will work, will be available on the first floor, whereas specific software as such as BlastLogic or Bendsim, which will not be utilized by all the students, but specific group of students, that will keep in the ground floor. In fact, all the softwares, no software will be there with any teacher. All the software will be available in the lab, because if it remains with his teacher, then it becomes restricted. So that we are going to do from the current time onwards. All the software that is being procured will be procured during my tenure. I'll make sure that this is put in this lab so that all the students can access, instead of having it in the faculty's chamber. Today, I think I forwarded 2 requests of 2 software, but this will only be probably be utilized by MTech students. One was HAZUP, another was something. The safety related software, safety risk assessment softwares. This is unfortunate, no? These costs that is being going towards safety risk assessment software, we could have easily procured SARPAC or BlastLogic, all that.
True.
I cannot change, because I talked to the director earlier also. He said whatever has been approved, we cannot make a single change. So my hands are tied.
Find ways. We'll find ways.
I'm hoping that if the next phase of EFAC is announced soon, then I'll make sure that all the requirements of the students are met fast. Then we'll think about individual research.
And Prabhu, we will find some alternates also for this. We may find some freewares as well as some trial versions for some softwares. So let me also find out more if that is possible. So for the purpose of maybe some analysis, we may find some things. So let's wait and see. We'll work on that.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu, are you listening to me?
Yes, sir. I'm
Yes,
listening.
I've got the invoice and the clearance from about Minare Payments. But the problem is these companies want photographs. Photographs where their banners were displayed, their logo were displayed. And INFA had given a specific logo and a message to be displayed. I think I did not notice it earlier, but which we did not do. But whatever logo were there in our banners and all that, with that we'll do. But whatever photographs are with you, you send it to me by tomorrow morning. I need to send them a few photographs in printed form while processing the bid.
Okay, sir. I will once check my photograph section. Then I will filter out whatever the logo and the banner is there, whichever photo it has. Then I will send it to you.
There is only from Nixer's camera or my camera, no few photographs of inauguration, and I have the photographs of second day. But first day's photographs I do not have. I need a few more photographs
sir,
of first day events and all that.
Sir, regarding photographs, I have covered all the section and all the places. For every place, I have photograph, and you need not to worry about that.
Okay, in that case, in a pen drive, you can give it to me, right?
Okay, sir. Sir, I can mail it to you.
No, mail will be difficult. So you come to the gate, I'll take it from you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I will.
Hello, sir.
Tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow you are available.
Okay. Because I have invoices with me. I just want to send them. Yes.
Sir, related to placement, sir, many companies are not willing to come to our campus, sir. If you will host them, if you will request, then it will be better.
No, what I'm saying is, right now we cannot force anyone because no outsider is being allowed to our campus right now. So we cannot ask anyone to come right now. If they are doing it online mode or in some form, we can think about that for online interviews and all that. I have no idea. I'll talk to Professor UC Pati about the status. My target is again 100% placement like last year. But the placement season might be delayed, or do not know. Your placement representative might. Divya, you can throw some light on it.
Yes, sir. Sir, I contacted like the companies that usually recruit. Like I have contacted Tata Steel, Adani, Aditya Birla, Vedanta. So all of them have told me that plans are not made yet because the people who were recruited last year, they have not been onboarded.
Right.
So usually the placement season begins in December for core companies, where bulk of the core companies come. So this year it might be January or February. Like all of them have given us positive response that we want to come, but we are assessing the situation.
Okay.
And this time we have got support from Nitra also. We had a meeting with AK Rath sir about like contacting alumni, because in core companies we need a lot of alumni support right now because the number of colleges they are going to visit will decrease.
Mm-hmm.
So for that we are also trying to get in touch with Nitra so that we could like contact them through the TNP section and through Nitra also, so that it has a good impact.
You had an interaction with Arun Rath?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a nice man.
Yes, sir.
But you tell me, apart from these companies, you told our regular recruiters, are there anyone else to whom we are going to contact?
Yeah, I have both core companies, sir. Only core companies or non-core? If I can, in
non-core companies, usually we do not have much control. But with core companies, when we write, there is someone at the back end, some alumni to take care of, to
Yes,
push
sir.
a little bit that
Yes,
way.
sir.
Non-core companies is difficult to push.
Yes, sir. Sir, in core companies, the names that I mentioned, along with that, the companies that I am focusing on right now is Prism Cements, Novuco Vistas, Epiroc Mining, and then there's Uttam Galva Cements.
Are they writing to SEC?
Sir?
Associated Cement Companies, SEC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Its written letter has gone.
Yes, sir. Like we have sent them the invitation mail.
Now, what Subham did last time is he had copies of all the mails that was sent to different companies.
Yes, sir.
And I need all those copies because whenever I write to someone, I will usually give the reference of that placement cell later.
Yes, sir.
Because a letter being sent from placement and again I write a letter, there is duplicacy. So whenever I have written last time, always I refer to the letters that was given to me by Subham. So I will need those letters as reference if someone doesn't respond. Those responding, then we have nothing to do. Those are not responding, then I'll take it up with the concerned people. Then if you give me some addresses, I'll take it on my own and then I'll convey that to the placement cell.
Sir, yes, sir, I'm keeping all the copies of the mail because whichever mail is sent for TMB, I am kept in CC. So I have the record of all the mails that are sent.
That should be there. That should be there. Copy of the mails and also their contact numbers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have the database.
And contact number that we need to have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We will try to have, last year we had except 100%, even the last student was accepted, but he was confused whether to join, not to join.
Okay.
So on that basis, he was hanging, otherwise 100%. I have told the last final year students that I'll try to make it 100%. This year again, my target is 100%.
Yes.
But again, you have to show the performance also during the interview. Only my pushing is not going to help. I normally pressurize that if they have come here to take 2, I'll ask them to take 3 or 4. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then Dr. Sarkar is probably waiting for you for the class. I think is it his class now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, he's giving it. Dr. Sarkar. The students are saying they are not interested to attend your class. Because they are all with me right now. That's I was joking. They will join you in 3-4 minutes. We were having a general discussion about their problems and all. Okay. So sir, मैं उनको बोल रहा हूँ आपकी class join करेंगे. Okay. So all of you please join. He has been waiting for last 16-17 minutes. I should have passed a message, but I didn't do. So you join his class. We are leaving you right now. If you have anything else to suggest or comment, do put a mail in the HOD mail ID. Right. My personal mail ID is mailbox is almost full. So send a message to HOD mail ID and I'll do the needful. Dr. Gupta, you have
Yes.
some other work.
Yeah. So let's close this meeting then.
Yes, sir.
Anyone has any other things to say, or we can close this and you those with that class can join. Okay. Thank you so much. Shrikar wanted to say something.
Sir, hello, sir.
You wanted to say something?
No, sir. It's sir. Myself, Nitesh, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Nitesh, tell me.
सर क्या करना भूल गया सर, 1 मिनट रुकिए सर.
कुछ लिख के रखता है क्या?
नो सर.
All the queries are written, है? आज ये
सर
पूछना.
जैसे कि सर मेरा सर टॉपिक कोडिंग से कोई लेना देना नहीं, कुछ नहीं आता मेरे को. तो मैं ऑर्थोडॉक्स टॉपिक लेना चाहता है रिसर्च के लिए. तो सर नाइक सर कह रहे हैं कि नहीं वो मत लो, मशीन लर्निंग लो. मेरे को तो कोडिंग आती नहीं, मशीन लर्निंग कहाँ से करूँ?
नहीं मशीन ठीक है. सो वो तो तुम खैर पर्सनल प्रोजेक्ट्स तो उनसे ही बात करनी पड़ेगी. दैट इज देयर. बट डोंट थिंक कि अगर कोडिंग नहीं आती तो यू कांट डू मशीन लर्निंग. ऐसा नहीं है. कोडिंग ऑब्वियसली इज इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट, लेकिन मशीन लर्निंग कैन बी डन इवन विदाउट लर्निंग एग्जैक्टली हाउ टू कोड. जस्ट तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए तुम कर क्या रहे हो. और इनफैक्ट अभी तो नहीं, लेकिन लेटर ऑन इन कंप्यूटर एप्लीकेशंस हम लोग वो भी पढ़ेंगे कि हाउ मशीन लर्निंग और न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स ये सब कैसे करते हैं अपने डेटा के लिए. सो विल डू दैट. तो इवन विदाउट एग्जैक्टली लर्निंग द कोडिंग वो कर सकते हो तुम. लेकिन हाँ, अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स के बारे में अपने गाइड से ही ज़्यादा आइडिया लग पाएगा कि क्या करवाना चाहते हैं वो तुमसे. मे बी दैट्स व्हाई ही हैज सेड समथिंग.
यस सर.
ऐसा मत सोचो. कोडिंग मैंने हमेशा कहा है तुम लोगों से कि सिर्फ एक भाषा है. इट्स जस्ट अ लैंग्वेज. तो वो जिसको काम बोलना क्या है वो पता है, तो बस उसको फिर वर्ड्स ही पता होने चाहिए कि ABCD कैसे लिखते हैं. दैट्स द ओनली थिंग दैट सेपरेट्स यू फ्रॉम कोडिंग. अगर वो पता है कीवर्ड्स क्या हैं और कैसे उसका सिंटेक्स क्या है, ये सब पता है, तो यू कैन, एनीवन कैन कोड. इसमें कोई बड़ी चीज़ नहीं है. तो वो उस चीज़ के लिए मत परेशान हो. अगर करना है तो वो भी कर लोगे तुम, और अगर नहीं करना है तो देयर आर अदर मेथड्स एज वेल. ओके, उसके लिए परेशान होने की जरूरत नहीं है. चलो, आई थिंक दोज हु हैव नॉट लेफ्ट आर फ्री राइट नाउ, और व्हाट, सब लोगों के प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं. ठीक है, तो बंद करते हैं. अब बहुत लंबा क्लास हो गया आज का भी, कल का भी. आज तो हम लोग कितना 2.5 घंटे सुबह, और अभी 1.5 आवर्स. बाय गॉड, चट नहीं जाते तुम लोग सब देखते देखते. चलो, we'll close this now. Thank you everyone. Take rest. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.